All right, guys, I'm in the shop. I just got my brand new PH fishing rods in, and I'm gonna make a quick video about all their actions that they have in this lineup and all the things I plan on using them for. All right, we're gonna go through them one by one, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about them. This is kind of their do-it-all rod, 7-foot, medium heavy casting. This is the one rod I would recommend if you're gonna try out a company, see kind of how their rods are made, see if you like them. I would recommend buying a 7-foot medium heavy. You can do anything from flipping to throwing a crankbait, throwing a spinnerbait, chatterbait, dragging. I mean, this is the rod to do it all with. These rods have super premium cork. I I like cork. I just think it looks better than EVA foam or any of the like integrated blank rods. Those get kind of slick and they're honestly not very comfortable. If you ever try to jack a spoon with one of those rods, you're gonna bust your ribs open. So I like the cork. I think it looks cool. I think it's comfortable. These rods aren't super gaudy, which I like. They're very simple. They have light red accents. They don't have a whole lot of like epoxy that runs all the way down the rod with the giant logo on them. They just have little red accents, and they have a hook keeper that's out of the way. Their handles aren't huge, which I like. They've got like a skeletonized rod or a skeletonized reel seat here, which is super comfortable, super light. And the rod guides aren't very big, but they're not micro guides. I hate micro guides, and these seem to be about perfect. Anyways, that's enough to talk about a 7-foot medium heavy. This is their 610 medium. Now this is probably my favorite rod in the lineup as far as casting rods go. This is what I would be consider their jerkbait rod, and it is a absolute noodle. I mean, it's not a complete whippy stick, but I like a super soft jerkbait rod. I like one that got some good flex all the way down here. It's got a super light tip for those treble hooks, and it's not long either. It's 6'10", so I'm not a super tall guy, and I don't like my rod to hit the water when I'm working my jerkbait, and especially when you got one right in front of the trolling motor and you're trying to get those last couple twitches in to make that fish bite. You don't want to be slapping the water. So it's got a short handle, which I like. I hate a jerkbait rod with a real long butt. I like one super short, stays out of the way. Anyways, there's that. Okay, I just randomly got a spinning rod here. So this is a 7'3" medium light. This thing is sick. So what they did with the spinning reels is they put the bait keeper or like the weight keeper down here, which I like, because if you know anything about a spinning reel, the line can get wrapped up around them if the bait keepers are up here. It's super annoying. And I like it down here when I'm throwing a drop shot or something. It makes it real simple. I can just clip the weight in, and I don't have to hook the bait up or hook the weight or the hook up in the eye. So if I could put one anywhere, it would be make sure it's behind the reel, which is super nice that they did that. And if you can look, it's literally 3 inches of cork right in front of the reel. It's super comfortable. You can get your whole finger exposed on the blank. These rods are super light because they don't have a whole bunch of unnecessary things on them. They're super simple. They're clean looking, and they're extremely comfortable. But anyways, 7'3". This is gonna be, it's got a super fast tip. I mean, look at that. It's got a good backbone, but this is gonna be for like when I'm throwing like really light jig heads really far. It's kind of hard to get them out there with a 6'8" or a 6'10" medium light, or if you're throwing like small swim baits or Ned rigs or anything far, this is gonna help. I mean, if you're casting at fish at 120 feet, 110 feet out, this rod is gonna be what you want. I mean, you can use this for anything. I mean, it's a 7'3" medium light spinning rod. You can use it for basically about anything you want. but that's kind of how I plan on using it. And okay, on the complete opposite end of things, the next rod I grabbed was the 7'6" heavy. This is the flipping stick. And for a flipping stick, this thing weighs absolutely nothing. I don't really know a whole lot to talk about a flipping stick other than the fact of it doesn't have a super long handle, which you don't want a super short handle on a flipping stick because you want to be able to have the leverage. You want to be able to bear into them, get them out of the cover. But I don't want one. I've had flipping sticks in the past with a super long handle, and you flip, you go to change sides, or you go to flip with your opposite hand, and you set the hook, and you are fighting this rod butt, or if you got a lot of clothes on, the rod butt's always digging into your belly and stuff, and it sucks to deal with. But this one, it's just long enough for me to have plenty of leverage, but it's not too long to where it gets all bound up in my clothes and stuff. And this is the lightest flipping stick I've ever picked up. So I'm super excited to use it. All right. Next, we've got a 6'8" medium heavy. Now this rod, this is gonna be my spinnerbait rod. I like a really short spinnerbait rod. I like a real short, tight roll cast to cover. On the river here, I like to throw little crankbaits on this thing. I like to throw really light 1/4 ounce spinnerbaits on them. Cause you're under big limbs on the river. You don't have a whole lot of room, and a spinnerbait's a big deal here. So I like a short spinnerbait rod, and I don't like I like that it's a medium heavy. You know, it's hard to find a kind of a stouter rod that's 6'8". So this is gonna play a vital part in my lineup. Okay, 7 foot medium heavy glass. Now I've got they've got three glass rods in their lineup. Now, I'm not a big glass rod guy, always because I thought they were way too thick and way too heavy, and I feel like I couldn't feel anything with them. I know that they're important. I know that guys swear by them. I'm gonna be honest, not a big. I haven't really used them that much, but I have one of each of their glass rods here because I need to learn them. I need to use them. They swear by them. I'm gonna try it out. So they have a 7 foot medium heavy glass. I think they've got a 7 foot medium and a 7'4" medium heavy. Now, what I like is, I mean, this is a medium heavy glass rod, but it doesn't feel like a glass rod. I mean, it feels like it weighs almost exactly like, all right, here's 7 foot medium heavy, 7 foot medium heavy glass. It's really not heavy. It's not heavier, which is kind of crazy because you always pick up a glass rod at a tackle store and it's like, oh my God, why would I ever throw this? But no, I picked these up I picked this rod up when I was getting them, and I really liked it. I didn't think it was heavy. I didn't think it was awkward, and I'm actually really excited to implement this somehow. So put these to the side here. I did not grab their other glass rod. It is this is their medium glass. I grabbed a 7'4". Okay, here's the medium glass rod. Look how thin that thing is. Here's a 7'4". I mean, you can't even tell that's glass. This is gonna be super good for those like real anyways, we're not moving on from glass just yet. This is gonna be super good for those real light square bills and those real light balsa cranks we use on the river a lot. Those flat sides, and heck, I would throw a DT6 on this thing. But yeah, anyways, super thin, super light, doesn't really feel like a big gaudy glass rod. If you like those, I mean, I don't know, that's a you thing, but I don't like big thick glass rods that are heavy, and I don't really know how to use them. But I have these now, and I'm excited to learn about them. All right, moving on. They've got a 7'4" medium heavy. This is a real do-it-all rod. Carolina rigs, swim baits, You could throw a trap on this chatterbait. I like this rod. This is gonna be a staple. I mean, it's a good koi rod. Oh God, I'm gonna break it. Yeah. Now this is my first time getting the whole lineup. I had samples and things, and I've loved them, but this is my first time getting to see like these real specialty actions, and I'm really excited to go try them out. All right, moving on. What do we got here? Okay, 7'3" heavy. This rod is legit. Like I said with the 7'6" heavy, it's got just a long enough handle to get leverage. It's not too long. This one might be a touch shorter than the 7'6", which is sick. Seven foot. You would think you'd be able to pick out the 7'6" flipping stick out of all these rods, but it's really, it's not that big, so it's kind of hard. I mean, look at that. That's the same exact blank all down here at the reel. Okay. Yeah, so I was right. It is actually a little shorter. That's great. This rod is the reason I was talking about that little bit shorter handle is because I'm gonna throw a frog on this thing, and I hate having a super long handle on a frog. I don't know. Some guys like to have all that leverage. I think it gets in the way when I'm up there casting my frog in real tight stuff, and I'm not bombing a frog on giant grass mats and at Guntersville that often. I'm usually pitching it around wood and that different thing. So I don't need a real long handle. I like to have everything. I don't like getting caught up on stuff. I know I just keep talking about it, but this is going to be a great jig rod. I've used 7'2" heavy jig rods, and last year I went to a 7'3", and I absolutely love it. So I'm really happy to see that they got a 7'3" heavy in their lineup, because this has kind of been like my staple for jigs. So now we've got 2 spinning rods left, which, you know, I am an absolute nut when it comes to spinning rods. It's basically all I've thrown for the last 6 years. So it's very sad to admit it, but if you're trying to become a professional bass fisherman, you need to be throwing a spinning rod in most of the time. This is our 610 medium light. This rod is legit. This is the minnow rod. Once again, super light, super simple. I mean, it's just so comfortable and it's so light. But look, here's the cool part. Oh my God. That's legit. Now, short rod versus long rod for minnows. All the testing I've done, long rod's great for casting. Long rod is honestly probably better for casting out and getting your minnow to look great, or, you know, do its thing out at 100 feet. But when you get up to the boat and that you have that fish that's tracked it from 50 feet out all the way up to the trolling motor, and that last 15 feet really matters, I don't want a 7'6" in my hand. I feel like I'm holding the rod way up over their head. My bait rises up out of the water way faster than it does with a short rod. So I really like a short rod. Like a short rod, I can work it down. I can keep my bait flatter, closer to the boat. It doesn't rise up to the trolling motor as fast as it does with the long rod. So I really like a short rod for that. And this rod's gonna be perfect. I like a whippy stick. I like to have a good backbone, which this rod has. I like a really, really soft tip. So short rod versus long rod, I have them both for spinning rods. As far as the minnow game goes, I really like a short rod. Guys like the long rods. Guys like short rods. It's basically whatever you want, but from what I've seen is a shorter rod will get you more bites closer to the boat, which is more important, because I feel like when you're rolling up on a big one, you're not casting at them at 100 feet. You're going to make sure that you get a good, nice, easy cast in the water at 60 to 50 feet where you're not scaring them away. And you don't really need a long rod to cast that far. You need a short rod, make a light pitch, and you can work your bait better and closer to the boat. All right, that was a rant. All right, last one, 7'1" medium do-it-all spinning rod. Do-it-all spinning rod. This is a Nico rod. This is a drop shot rod. This is a shaky head rod. This is a light jig rod. This is a do-it-all. When you step up into a little bit heavier heads, this would be a good rod for that. Yeah, that's basically all there is to say about it. It is a do-it-all. It's like your 7-foot medium heavy casting rod. These rods are going to come in at like $150, which is a lot of money, yes. But as far as fishing rods go, they go all the way up to thousands of dollars, which I own rods that cost that much. And they don't do it for me. These rods are light. They get the job done. And that's what I need. I don't need these really expensive rods. And it's nice to be able to tell people about a product that you're not trying to talk somebody into buying a $600 fishing rod that really you don't even really think's that important. My dad can go get these rods. Like the guys at work can that I work with that always ask me, man, what rods do you use? And I tell them, it's like, gosh, dang. No, anybody can get these rods. And it's nice to have a rod this simple, this comfortable, look super sharp, look clean, look good when you got a whole bunch of them, especially for $150. I think they really got, I think they really got something. So into the video, I'm going to go back and watch the footage of this and probably cringe to death. Hopefully I don't have to make too many cuts and edits. Hopefully I didn't say too much because I'm really trying to work on that. But, oh my gosh, I'm doing it again. I gotta go. All right, see you.